opposite side? 4? 5, thank you. Alright, page 5. And our T up there is 5A. So right up here in the box, right 5A there. That way we know what it is. Alright. So if I'm looking at this right here, part A, it says, what does this mean to do right here in words? What does it mean to do? Okay, that's what they're asking us to do. Multiply 3 times 12. Okay. So what about this? What does this mean that I'm supposed to do?
3 times x.
Okay, so I'm gonna write 3, multiply. I'll write it out. Ordinarily we never do this, but okay. Multiply 3 times what Easton said, both x and -4. That's what we're doing there. Is everybody okay? Mm-hmm. All right. So if I'm gonna write that, and I'm writing it out, not just doing it, but if I'm visually showing what that means 3 times x minus 3 times 4. That's really what that means. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. Usually if it's just the first screen, it'll refocus itself. Alright, so then when I do that, what does that give me? What's my simplified expression going to be? Minus 12, yeah. Now, I'm not going to make you do all that. I just want to make sure that everybody's comfortable that that's what we're doing. Everybody okay? Alright, so the distributive property, we talked about this the other day. I said y'all did this in 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. None of this is new. So we're going to go through relatively quickly. So the distributive property basically says that I take each term inside the parentheses and I multiply it by the number that is on the outside of the parentheses. To me, that's written a little bit backwards because usually we distribute this direction, like the number that's out. So I would say multiply the number on the outside times each term on the inside. They just wrote that weird because I don't know. But sometimes you will see, especially in Algebra 1, they will sometimes write the 3 at the back instead of in the front. But it still means the same thing. Are y'all okay that it still means the same thing? It's still right next to the parentheses, so it still means to multiply. So do watch out for that because sometimes they do that too. Alright, so here we do, did they draw this for you? I used to draw this all the time when I taught 6th grade. And I called this, and one of my kids said, oh, that looks like a little rainbow. So we always, when we talk about distributive property, we call that sharing the rainbow. Have y'all heard that before or no? No? It helps, it makes you remember though, right? Okay, so when I share that rainbow, that would be A times B plus A times C, or AB plus AC, right? Alright, if I did the same thing back here, because the rule is the same, what do I get there? Valen, what's that give me?
AB minus AC.
Alright, everybody okay with that? Okay. Alright, so it says be careful with your signs because that is usually where we mess things up. Okay, that is like the number one thing that students are going to miss in my class is a sign. I don't think I've ever taught a student that didn't miss a problem simply because they had a sign wrong. They did all the correct stuff, but they had a sign wrong. And if the sign's wrong, it's still wrong. Okay, so be really, really careful with signs. Alright, so what do we get here when I share my little rainbow? What do we get right there? Ava, what do you get on number 1?
4x plus 8.
Plus what?
Plus 8.
Plus 8, okay. Alright, what's being distributed in number 2? The negative sign. So really that means the same thing as the -1s. Are we okay there? That means the same thing. So all that means is I'm going to change the sign of everything inside there. So what do I get there? Krista, what do we get there?
Negative 5x minus 35.
No.
Oh, plus 35.
Not 35. 80 plus 7. It's just the negative. Negative to this, negative to this. You okay? Alright. Alright, what about, who has a, Corbin, you got a calculator? Well, you should know what this is anyway. What's this gonna give me right here? Negative 2x, very good, negative 2x, and what's this giving me back here? Negative 4. Guys, y'all should be able to do that problem without a calculator. I mean, if you have one, that's fine. But I'm gonna say this right now, when you take TSI at the end of this school year, you cannot use a calculator for that test. You have to be able to do math without a calculator to be able to do that test. Why do you care about that test? That's the test that you have to take to be able to take any college classes. And you can't do that if you are dependent on a calculator all the time. So a calculator is there for you to use. Primarily, we give you a calculator to make things a little bit faster and to make it where you can graph things and look at them. The add, subtract, multiply, and divide, you shouldn't necessarily need a calculator for that all the time. Some things, yes. But to do negative 8 times 2, or, sorry, that one, yeah. Who did that? Negative 8 times 2, that's negative 16. Sorry. But to do, like even to do 0.25, that's the same thing as 1/4, which means the same thing as negative 8 divided by 4, which is negative 2. We okay there? So just, y'all need to kind of make sure you can do some things without a calculator. Alright, what do we get here? What do I get for my x value, my coefficient? Good half, 1/2 x. Minus, and we're gonna write it this way, minus 9/2. And y'all may not like it that way, does not matter, that's how you're gonna write it. I don't want the mixed number, I don't want the decimal. I want the improper fraction. Everybody okay there? Alright, next one. What do I do here, because we're adding an additional step in here. Okay, I cannot subtract 6 from 14 first.
You do negative 6 times 3x and negative 6 times negative 1.
Good. I have to do the distribution first. Because if you think about your order of operations, right? Here's your order of operations, right? Alright? So anything that involves the parentheses, well, I can't really work inside the parentheses, but this multiplication happens before that subtraction. Okay, so I have to do that first. So the 14, that just comes down. Everybody okay there? Now I'm going to distribute that negative 6. So negative 6 times 3x is going to be negative 18x. And negative 6 times negative 1.5 is going to be 9. Plus 9. Everybody okay with that? Alright, now what? I'm not done.
You would, it'd be the like terms.
I'm going to combine like terms, so I need to combine 14 and 9. I'm going to write the negative 18x first. And 14 and 9 is going to give me 23. Y'all okay there? Alright, any questions or we're good? Good? Okay, coming back to you in a little bit. Alright, the next one. What has to happen first here? 5.6. So what happens with this 16x? Good, you just drop it down, 16x, okay? So then I'm going to distribute this in. So 5.6 times 2 is going to end up giving me 11.2x. And 5.6 times a negative 11. Negative, anybody push it down there? Negative 61.6. Negative 61.6, okay? Now what? Yep, combine like terms. So that looks like that's going to be 27.2 x minus 61.6, and we're done. Everybody all right with that? Okay. 7 is basic. We're not doing that. Y'all can handle that with a calculator. All right. On 8, it's a fraction, so we'll go ahead and look at it. What is 3/4 of 16?
75.
It's 12. Good. 75%. Yeah, it isn't hard. It's 12. Guys, here's the deal. 16 divided by 4 is 4 times 3 is 12. It's the easiest way to do it. Okay? So, yes, 12. And I'm going to write x, y'all, because I don't like other letters. I'm just like that. All right, now, 3/4 of 5, not so nice, right? Because I can't do 5 divided by 4. So, I'm just going to multiply the 3 times the 5, which is what? Okay, so I have minus 15 over 4. Minus 3 over 2. Now, from here, I understand. Y'all would use a calculator. Fine. Some of you have one in your hand still. Some of you don't. Guys, 3/2 is the same thing as 6/4. Are you okay that 6/4 and 3/2 are the same thing? Okay, so I have -6 and I have a 15. So what's -6 and -15? -21 over 4, right? Are y'all okay with that? So I end up with a -21 over 4 back there. This is just full head. Okay, now, can you do it in a calculator when you're doing it on your assignment? Yes, you absolutely can. Alright? I would prefer it if you can do it without, and like some of you can, and that's fine. I'm gonna let you use your calculator, it's totally fine. Alright? But I am saying that when you take TSI, not your STAR EOC, your TSI test, no calculator for fractions. Like, you have to be able to get a common denominator and subtract fractions. That's why Reagan beat herself over the head trying to teach y'all how to do that instead of Craig. Okay? Because you're gonna have to be able to use those skills later. Okay? Alright, right here. What happens first? Good, the distribution. So the 15.4 stays. When I distribute that, I get -15.6x minus 6.24. I'm just giving it to you because I'm not gonna waste time functioning the calculator. Alright, so now what? Okay, combine here and here. So I have -15.6x, and then 15.4 minus 6.24 gives you positive 9.16. All good? Any questions, or we're okay? Alright, this one, what happens first? Good, the distribution. So 5/8x stays. -2 times 7 is -14. And -2 times a -1/4 x is going to be a positive 1/2 x. Are we okay with that? Alright, so I need to now combine, right? Alright, how many 8s would this be? 4 8s. So I have 5 8s and 4 8s, which is 9 8s. Alright, so I've got 9 8s x minus 14. Okay? Alright. Next one. Chandra simplified the following expression, but made an error. Find it. So let's, well, I mean, even if you don't have a calculator. This we brought down, right? So then she got this, which means we're assuming she multiplied this and this, and then she got this.
That should get that one because it's two negatives, we cancel out, so that should be a positive.
This should be positive, good. So her sign is wrong. Alright, so that should be a positive, so this should be a plus 63.63. Everything else is okay. So now, instead of this, we have the 26.7 and the positive 63.3. So I have -37.8x, that part was okay. And when I add these two together, you get 90.33. So that's the correct answer. We okay there? Any questions on why that was wrong and what the correct thing was? So we're okay? Everybody's good? Okay. Next one. Glenn simplified the following expression, but made an error. Describe his mistake and then simplify it. So kind of the same deal, alright? So, what did he do?
He didn't bring it down, he didn't bring the 18 down.
Yeah, he didn't bring the 18 down, and I'm not real sure what he did,
He minus
honestly.
the 18 from the 15.
It looks like he did some combining of some stuff. But like he did like 18 plus this minus this, I
Yeah,
think.
18 minus 15.
Yeah, that's what he subtracted 15 from 18.
Kept
That's
it
what
0
he
over
did.
5 and then kept it 16.
Okay, subtracted 15 from 18, and that's not okay. Alright, so that's what he did. So the 18 should have stayed, right? So we should have had 18. Then we needed to distribute the 3/5 and 6. 5 doesn't go into 6, so I'm just gonna multiply that and get 18/5. So we okay there? Alright, and then I've got 3/5 times a -15. 15 divided by 5 is 3, so 3 times -3 minus 9. Are y'all alright with how I I did that without a calculator, yeah? Alright, so what do I combine here?
Combine the like and.
Okay, so I have 18 over 5x plus 9. Make sure you write your variable term first. Everybody okay there? Any questions? All good? Okay. Oscar's paint the wall with the following dimensions. Write a simplified expression of the area. How do I find area? Height times height, length times width, whichever. Alright, so it's going to be A is equal to base times height. Which one do I want inside the parentheses? How do I write? Okay, so I'm going to multiply what together? Times what? So how do I make sure that I multiply 40.5 times both of those things?
8.3W plus 2 is gonna be in parentheses.
Good. The 8.3W is what has to be in the parentheses. So I've got to have 40.5 and then 8.3W plus 2. Which one goes in the parentheses matters. Okay, so when I multiply 40.5 times 8.3, I'm going to get 336.15 W. And then 40.5 times 2, well, 45 times 2 is 80. And 25 times 2 would be 1, so plus 81. And they didn't give us any measurements, so that's it. Everybody okay there? Alright, this one, Georgia is fencing in a section of her yard for a chicken coop. The area will be shaped like a square. Write the expression that represents the amount of fencing she will need.
So you put that in.
Hey, somebody said something over here. What were you, somebody used the word? Because they talk about area, and if we think about area, we're automatically thinking, well, we gotta multiply, right? But it said, write the expression that represents the amount of fencing. Where do you put a fence? All the way around. So actually, I want the what? Perimeter. Somebody said it. It was back here, but I didn't know who said it. So I actually want the perimeter. All right. So if I'm finding the perimeter, how would I write that problem? How would I do that? Not an addition problem.
Times 4.
4.
And that's in the parentheses.
Good. I want a 4 and then a parentheses of. Now this is 9 2/3. So I'm going to go ahead and make that improper. Okay. So 3 times 9 is 27 plus 2 is 29. 29 thirds x minus 19. So I'm going to do it like that. So when I multiply that, that gives me, I've already done the math on this for y'all. I got 116 over 3x minus 76. And I know y'all don't like numbers like that, but that's how we're doing it. Okay? Any questions on that one and why that ended up being a perimeter, even though the problem said area? Okay, so y'all make sure you read really carefully because sometimes, y'all know this, like sometimes they tell you what they want indirectly instead of directly. Are we okay? Olivia, will you stop that?